Hello, welcome to my videos and my blog. In this time, I'm going to talk about the NFL 2023, the week 9, the scores, the game that were played. Where we had another amazing week. We finished yesterday with the Monday Night Football, where the Sharks defeated 27-6 the New York Jets. It was a board game. Where the weekend started where my Steelers, in the Tuesday Night Football, where my Steelers defeated 2016 the Tennessee Titans in another board game, but the Steelers could win that game. We have an international game where the Chiefs defeated 24-14 the Dolphins, and the Chiefs are leading the AFC. We had another great games like the Ravens, the best game. The Texas Buccaneers was the best game. They defeated 39-37. The Buccaneers. The second best game of the week was the Eagles defeated 28-23 the Cowboys. So let's talk about a little more of each game. The first one, my Steelers, defeated 2016 the Tennessee Titans. To be honest, this was a very it wasn't a very good game. It was an ugly game, but the Steelers knew how to win this game. The game was always very close, where the Steelers defense dominated the game, where the Steelers offense didn't make any mistake, no interception, no fumbles, and the Pittsburgh Steelers play better, where the Steelers offense did enough when they scored two touchdowns in the first quarter and the last quarter, and in the end the Steelers won 2016. Won the fifth win of the season, and the Steelers in this moment are in the playoffs. And if you want to know more about this game, you can click in the link that comes in this blog, or you can go to my YouTube channel and look for the Steelers 20 Titans 16. So another game, in the international game, the fourth international game of the season. The game was played in Frankfurt, Germany. Kansas City Chiefs defeated 21-14 the Miami Dolphins. This game was closer than I expected because the Kansas City Chiefs dominated the first half, where they were leading 21-0 in the halftime. In the second half, the Miami Dolphins improved this game in the offense, but to be honest, this game was closer thanks to the Dolphins defense, where in the second half the Kansas City Chiefs offense play a very bad game, especially Patrick Mahomes. They didn't move the ball a lot of times, and they couldn't score any points. Even that the Miami Dolphins had the opportunity to tie the game, but as a series of several errors, especially in the last drive of the Dolphins, where the center did the pass the ball back, gave the ball back to the quarterback to Tagovailoa, and the game finished in that. And the Chiefs defeated 21-14 the Dolphins, and the Chiefs are leading in this moment the AFC conference. The Dolphins is the third loss of the season, and the Dolphins just have defeated the teams that they are bad teams, or are teams that are record under 500, and the three losses that the Miami Dolphins have in the season had been against the top teams like the Kansas City Chiefs, the Buffalo Bills, and the other one was against what the other lose of the Miami Dolphins. Wait a minute. Against the Eagles, the last week. And the games that starting the first shift in the 1 p.m. The Vikings defeated 31-28 the Falcons. This was a very great game that was finished in the last minutes of the game, where Joshua Dobbs made his debut with the Vikings, because remember that he was the Arizona Cardinals the starting quarterback, because remember that Kylie Murray, the starting quarterback in the Arizona Cardinals, is injured. So he played with the Arizona Cardinals in the first week of the season, where he didn't make a bad job, but he did a great job. So he was transferred in the last day of the NFL deadline trade line, the October 31st. So he played this game. He did a very great game where he scored two touchdowns. The last one that was in the last second of the game, and the Minnesota Vikings defeated 31-58 the the Falcons and the Minnesota Vikings have won four consecutive games. They have a record of 4-1, and in this moment, I think they are inside the playoffs. Remember that the Joshua Dobbs is a great addition because remember that the Minnesota Vikings quarterback Kirk Cousins is out all decision because he torn his Achilles. And another bad news for the Vikings is that the Akers is out all the season because he tore his Achilles. Remember that this is the second time that he had this injury because he had the same 3 years ago. A very unfortunate, very bad for the player. Bad luck. And another game, the New Orleans Saints defeated 24-17 the Chicago Bears. To be honest, this was a closer game than I expected because I thought that the New Orleans Saints were going to have an easier game that this was, but the Chicago Bears played a very great game. Even you can see that the game was always close, was closer all the game because in the three quarter, in each quarter, the game was always tight. The big difference was in the last quarter where the New Orleans Saints scored a touchdown. The defense didn't allow any points, and this was the difference to win this game. Now the Saints didn't play a very great game, but they did enough, and they won his fifth big win of the season. And the Chicago Bears got his seventh loss of the season, and they need to think in the next season. And again, they didn't have that was defining the first minutes of a game that was easy for the Green Packers. We didn't have a very great game because just one team played. The played great was the Green Bay Packers defeated 20 to 3 the Los Angeles Rams. The Green Bay Packers dominate all the game. Here in this game, Matt Stafford didn't play for the Los Angeles Rams, and the Los Angeles Rams didn't play a very great game in offense. So it looked like that his season is over because they can produce points. The Green Bay Packers had an easy game, how I told you, and this was great because the Green Bay Packers had come for 3 consecutive losses, and they needed to win they needed to win a game. No, 4 consecutive losses. They needed to win a game. So they have an easy game where they scored 23. They didn't have any problem in this game, and they won the game 23 and got his third win of the season. And in a game that was very close, the New England Patriots lost 70-20 against the Washington Commanders. To be honest, this was a very ugly game where the two teams are very bad. Sorry, are very bad. It was an ugly game, and the Washington Commanders won this game because they are less because the New England Patriots are one of the worst team in the league. In this moment, this is a very great victory for the Washington because with this victory they are still in the hunt to enter to the playoffs, and the New England Patriots are one of the worst team in the league, and I think that they'll need to think more in the next season because this season they are not going to get any they are not going to qualify to the playoffs, and they need to focus in the next season. And in another game, where the Ravens defeated 37-3 against the Seattle Seahawks. To be honest, I thought that this was going to be the best game in the first shift. And I thought that this game was going to be closer than the game was. And this game is the same that happened. It's happened the same that the game that the Ravens defeated the Lions. Recorded a blowout. They defeated 38-3 or 6. The Lions were in the paper, and before the game, we thought that the Lions was going to be a tougher game, a closer game, but it didn't happen because, like that game against the Lions, in this game the Ravens did a tremendous. They play a tremendous game into in the two sides of the ball where they dominate all the two sides of the ball. They didn't have any problem. They have an easy game. Be careful with this team because they have a seven wins and 2 losses, and they're going to compete to win the AFC conference and play in the Super Bowl. The game was defined in the third quarter where The Baltimore Ravens were leading the game 33, but even in the first half, because the Baltimore Ravens were leading the game 73, and they were dominating the game. The Lamar Jackson is playing a tremendous game. He didn't do a very great game. He threw for 187 yards. He didn't throw any touchdown, but he didn't make any mistake. And the Seattle Seahawks lost is their game of the season. And the best game, the best game of the season of the week, the Houston Texans defeated Tampa Bay Buccaneers, sorry, 39-37. This was a tremendous game where the game was was close, where in the last seconds I remember that the Buccaneers scored the game when scored the game in the last second of the game where they left 46 seconds to the Houston Texans. And to be honest, I thought, oh, I know, I thought that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were going to win this game because there is just 46 second in the game, but CG Stroud commanded an offense, and he scored a touchdown, and that was enough to win the game, 39-37. He played a tremendous game where he scores five touchdowns. He threw for five touchdowns, and it looked like that he's gonna to be the offensive rookie of the year because he's played a tremendous game. I think that one error for Tampa Bay Buccaneers is that I remember that in the last drive of the game for them, I remember that when they were in the red zone, in the red zone, they call for a timeout, and I think that was an error because they have the game under control. They were going to score a touchdown, and they're going to win the game. But the bigger error that they have is because they left a lot of time in the clock. Now the Houston Texans have a record of 500 and the Buccaneers had a losing record of 3-5. And the games that started in the second shift in the 16:05 or 16:25, the Cleveland Browns had an easy game. They have a blowout where they showed up the Cardinals, where they defeated 27-0 the Arizona Cardinals. How I told you, the Cleveland Browns have an easy game. They didn't have any problem, and they won the game 27-0 the Cleveland Browns. Now the Cleveland Browns got this fifth victory of the season, and they are in this moment in the playoffs. And the Arizona Cardinals played with this tier quarterback, Clayton Tune. Remember, he played a very bad game because he threw for 58 yards and had 2 interceptions. Remember that Joshua Gibbs was the quarterback, but he was transferred to Minnesota Vikings, and the Arizona Cardinals starting quarterback, Kylie Murray, is look like that he's gonna to win this. He's gonna to play the next week. The Arizona Cardinals are taking more in the next season. In another game, the Panthers lose 30-27 the Indianapolis Colts. This game didn't look like closer than it was, but the game was defined in the first half, where the Indianapolis Colts were leading the game 23 in the halftime, and the game was over. Indianapolis Colts was better team than the Carolina Panthers. The Carolina Panthers didn't have a great team. They are now gonna to thinking in the next year, and it looks like that the the Carolina Panthers quarterback, it looks like that he's not a solution because he's played a very bad season. He played a very bad game with one interception, with one touchdown and 3 interception, and it looked like that he was an error to selected him. In another game that was a blow up, the Las Vegas Raiders defeated 36 the New York Giants. Remember that in the last season, in the last week, the Las Vegas Raiders fired his head coach, Josh McDaniels, and it looked like that maybe he was a problem because in this game the Las Vegas Raiders play a tremendous game. They have the game under control, and they define the game in the first half, where they lead the game 24-0. In the end, they won the game 36, and they sent a message to the league that they want to compete to enter to the playoffs. And I am very disappointed for the New York Giants because they play a very bad game. They used to score 6 points, and they have a bad news because Daniel Jones injured in the game. They have a ACL injured, and he's out all the season. And it looks like that the New York Giants are eliminating from the playoffs race, and they need to think in the next the NFL draft in the next year. And it looks like the New York Giants are gonna to look for a new quarterback for his team. And in the last game of the second shift, the Philadelphia Phillies defeated 28-23 the Dallas Cowboys. This game was very close, and to be honest, the Dallas Cowboys didn't play a very bad game. They could win this game, but they have several errors. They couldn't take advantage by the Eagles' errors, and in the end, they couldn't win. This happened because the Dallas Cowboys had I remember that like the Houston game, they have 46 seconds left in the game to win the game, but they couldn't, and in the end they lost the game. The last Cowboy played a very great game, but in the end they didn't know how to win this game. And the Felix Eagle, they didn't play a very great game, but they did enough to win this game and leading the division and the conference and the league with the record A1. With this loss, the Dallas Cowboys lost his tier loss of the season, and now you can see that the Dallas Cowboys, it looks like that they can compete against a top team, because remember that they lost against the Philadelphia, against the 49ers, and against the what is the other loss? Against the Cardinals. So it looks like that the Cowboys, when they have a prime time, when they play against a top team, they can win that kind of game. So they need to focus on that, improve that, and maybe they can compete and win that kind of games. And the game that was playing the Sunday Night Football, the Cincinnati Bengals defeated 24-18 the Buffalo Bills. This was a very special game, but for this man, who is the name that have a stroke, that he died in the he died in the well, the man that was died in the last season when this game was played. Remember that the game was suspended. Darby Harvey, algo así, something. Darby Harvey. Remember that he died in the last season when this game was playing the Monday Night Football. The game was suspended, but he recovered it and he was active in this game. He didn't play, but he was active. This game, to be honest, the Cincinnati Bengals were a better team, and they have they have on the game under control, and they won the game 24-18. To be honest, I am very disappointed for the Buffalo Bills because they only played a very great season, because they are a very irregular team. Because how I told you, I have been told you all the season they play a very great games, one game, and the other game they play a very bad game, and they lose that game. So they are a very irregular team. In this moment they lost the 4 game of the season, and in this moment they are out of the playoffs. And the Cincinnati Bengals played a very great football. They recovered because they started the season with 1 win and 3 losses, and since that moment they have won 4 consecutive games. So they are a very dangerous team. Be careful with this team because they have a lot of quality football, especially Joe Burrow, and his offense is different. And in the last game of the season, that was yesterday, the Monday Night Football, the Los Angeles Chargers defeated 27-6 the New York Jets. This was another bad game because the Los Angeles Chargers had the game under control in the halftime, where they lead the game 73. The New York Jets didn't compete in that game, used the defense because the offense didn't play a very great game, especially Zach Wilson, that didn't make any mistake, but he didn't score any touchdown. And in the end, the Los Angeles Chargers won the game 27-6 and won his fourth game of the season. This game, how I told you, it wasn't a very great game, but in the end, it was a win for the Los Angeles Chargers, and this is great for them. And you can see the bad here is that we had a lot of teams that won for a lot of points. The Chargers, the Riders, the Browns, the Ravens. The leagues need to the Packers the league need to do something because sometimes we had a lot of bad games. So how are the position? In this moment in the American Conference in the East Division, the Dolphins are leading the division with record of 6-3. The Bills and Jets are the Bills record of 5-4, and the Jets are record of 4-4. They are fighting to enter to the playoffs, and the Patriots are eliminated, and they need to focus in the next season. In the AFC and the West, the AFC West, the Chiefs are leading the division and the conference. They have a record of 7-2. It looks like that they have a 3 games or 4 games advantage, 3 games advantage against the Chargers and the Riders, and it looks like the Chargers, Riders, and Broncos are going to fight to enter to the playoffs because this will be a very close division. So it looks like that the Chiefs are going to win this division, and these 3 are going to fight to enter to the playoffs. And in the AFC North, this is the best division of the league because you can see in this moment all these 3 teams are are in the playoffs. The Ravens are leading the division with record 7-2, and the Steelers, Browns, and Bengals have the same record 5-3. So it can happen anything in this division because in this moment they have a record 2 games above the 500 record, and this will be a very this will be in this moment is the best NFL division. So this is amazing because my Steelers are in this moment, but there is a lot of NFL games left. And the AFC South, in this moment the Jaguars are in. They are leading the division. They have a two-game advantage for the from the second place that are the Texans, and the Colts and Titans are in the tier of 4 respectively. So these 2 teams are fighting to enter to the playoffs. And in the National Conference, in the NFC East, the Eagles are leading the division, the conference, and the NFL with a record of A1. The Cowboys 5-3, but in this moment they are in the playoffs. And the Washington are fighting to enter to the playoffs, and the Giants are thinking in the next season. They are eliminated. In the NFC West, the 49ers that rest this week, they have a record of 5-3, and they are in leading because the Seahawks lost this week, and in this moment these 2 teams are in the playoffs, and the Rams, it looks like that they are almost eliminated because they don't have. It looks like that Matt Stafford will be out all the season, and they don't have team to compete. And the Cardinals are thinking in the next season. In the NFC South, the Lions are leading the division with record of 6-2. It looked like that here the Vikings have a record of 5-4. I thought that the Lions were going to have an easy. They will win very easy this division, but it looks like that the Vikings can give a little barrel. The Vikings are in this moment inside the playoffs, or maybe they are out, but they are going to fight for enter. And the Packers in this moment are eliminated, but they are going to fight it. I don't know if they are going to reach the playoffs, but they are going to fight. And the Bears they need to think in the next season. In the last division, the NFC South, the Saints are leading this division with a record of 5-4. And the Falcons, the Buccaneers are fighting to enter to the playoffs, but it looks like that in this division, just the team that win this division is going to qualify to the playoffs, and the Panthers are thinking in the next season. So here's what and in this season we have just 40 games because 4 teams had a bye week that were the 49ers, the Jaguars, the Broncos, and the Lions. So here's one opinion of what happened in this week in the NFL 2023 season, week 9, the games were played. See you next video. Gibran.